We're ready.
Okay, thank you. The Supreme Court of Guam is now called to order. Will the clerk please call the matter that is before the court this afternoon?
This is Supreme Court case in re the admission of the candidates to the Guam Bar. Appearing on behalf of the Guam Bar Association Board of Governors is Vice President of the Guam Bar, Attorney Minashki V. Hemlani. The panel consists of Chief Justice F. Philip Carbolito, Associate Justice Robert J. Torres, and Associate Justice Catherine A. Merriman.
I want to thank all of you, the candidates, for your participation in our admission into your admission into the Guam Bar Association. I also want to welcome the family and friends watching our first virtual swearing-in ceremony being live streamed on the Guam Supreme Court YouTube channel. Three candidates that the Vice President of the Guam Bar Association, Attorney Minashki Hemlani, will introduce, passed the Guam Bar exam in February and satisfied the required character and fitness background review. Two candidates who will also be introduced are being sworn in under a temporary supervised practice rule. The two candidates originally signed up to take the July 2020 Guam Bar exam. However, in April of this year, as most of us know, the Supreme Court postponed the regular July Guam Bar exam because of the health and safety concerns related to the coronavirus and rescheduled the exam to September 9th and 10th. However, when the COVID-19 infection numbers started spiking, the Supreme Court, concerned with the health and safety of the candidates and employees proctoring the exam, ordered that the September bar exam be canceled. These bar exam applicants have now had not one, but two bar exams canceled. Without the ability to sit for the Guam Bar exam, these individuals, for reasons beyond their control, will be unable to practice law and obtain work in their profession. Recognizing the hardships these delays have caused the bar applicants who have been preparing for the bar exam for months, the court took steps to mitigate the impact of the delays by establishing a supervised legal practice program. Many jurisdictions around the country faced with the same circumstances have adopted similar measures. Under the new temporary supervised practice rule, eligible individuals who registered for the July or September bar exam that ended up being canceled are allowed to practice law in the territory of Guam on a limited basis under the direct and verified supervision of a licensed Guam lawyer. Applicants of either of the canceled exams have up until December 31st, 2020 to apply for a temporary license under the new rule. We are swearing in two candidates today under the temporary supervised practice rule. They will have to take and pass the Guam Bar exam no later than July 2021 in order to continue practicing law in Guam. And to introduce the bios of the three applicants who passed the February bar, and also the two applicants who are being admitted under our special temporary admission rule, I now recognize the Vice President of the Guam Bar Association, Attorney Minashki Hemlani.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to begin by reading the bios of the three candidates for regular admission to the Guam Bar Association, beginning with Jennifer Cornley. Jennifer Cornley is a patent attorney with experience in intellectual property and commercial and employment law. She graduated from Cornell University in 1998 and started her professional career as a U.S. Navy diver stationed on board the USS Grass. She then worked for Stryker Communications, where she created and sold integrated operating rooms for hospitals and surgical clinics. Her skills solving challenging problems in various disciplines and her ability to communicate complex information led her to her career as an attorney. In 2012, she graduated from the University of Maryland School of Law and worked with Dick Stein, Shapiro, and Seidman Design Law Group, focusing on patent and trademark prosecution, intellectual property litigation, and licensing. When living on Guam in 2014, she provided support to local attorneys and nonprofit organizations. After moving to Germany, she worked for the United States European Command Legal Department in the Fiscal Division. She was very happy to return to Guam in 2019 and accepted a position with Blair, Sterling, Johnson, and Martinez. She focuses on trademark and commercial work, as well as employment issues arising from the COVID pandemic. Jennifer has a passion for encouraging women to pursue careers in science and the law. She spends her free time staying active and enjoys biking, triathlons, reading, and traveling. She resides in the village of Santa Rita with her fun-loving husband, Chuck, their dog and cat, and their two amazing kids, Mason and Liana. After 4 years of living on Guam, Jennifer is humbled and grateful to be finally joining the Guam Bar. Our next candidate is Frankie Tenorio Perez Jr., who was born and raised on Guam and is the proud son of Frankie Tenorio Perez Sr. and Antonita Perez of Chalampago. Frankie started his professional career as a Guam public school teacher. However, becoming a licensed attorney was always his lifelong goal. With the support of his wife, Keisha, and their two children, Kara and Logan, he was able to obtain his law degree with honors from Western Michigan University. Frankie clerked for the Honorable Michael J. Berdalio and the Honorable Maria T. Senzon this past year before becoming an associate with the law office of Berman, O'Connor, and Mann. Our third candidate is Jane A. Webster. She's originally from Connecticut and graduated from the University of Arkansas in 2011 with degrees in English and criminal justice. Jane then attended the University of Colorado Law School, earning her Juris Doctor and passing the Colorado bar exam in 2014. Since graduating law school, Jane has worked as a legal editor at a bar prep course. There are two additional candidates for supervised temporary practice, and I will now read their biographies. Jeremiah Luther, who has been a practicing attorney since 2010. From the years 2011 to 2013, he worked with the YAP Attorney General's office. In 2014, he began work as a prosecutor in Guam and stayed at the Office of the Attorney General until 2019. Mr. Luther says that Guam has made quite an impression on him, and he returned to prosecution earlier this year after spending a few months in his native Tennessee. The second candidate for supervised temporary practice is Jessica Lee. She's from the village of Chalampago. Jessica is the daughter of Jason Lee and Karen Song. In 2011, she ran for Miss Guam World, where she said that she wanted to be a lawyer. She came back to Guam to keep her promise. After graduating from law school last year, Jessica began working with the Attorney General's office as a senior law clerk and plans to continue working with them after the submission. Your Honor, I'd now like to move for admission to our three candidates to the Guam Bar Association. The Board of Law Examiners of the Supreme Court of Guam, having determined that the following candidates have successfully completed and satisfied all of the qualifications necessary for admission to the Guam Bar, as provided by laws and the rules of the Board of Law Examiners. Now, therefore, I move this honorable court to admit the following candidates to the practice of law in Guam before the courts in Guam. To wit, Jennifer H. Cornley, Frankie T. Perez Jr., and Jane A. Webster.
Thank you, Meenakshi. And so to my colleagues on the bench, in reference to the motion to the three candidates being moved to be sworn in, having passed the February bar exam and met all character and fitness requirements. Is there any objection to the motion?
No objection.
No objection, I join in it.
All right, there being no objection, the motion is granted. Now, in reference to Mr. Jeremiah Luther and Ms. Jessica Lee, as announced, the Supreme Court has reviewed the applications of both applicants for temporary supervised admission and has found that the applications satisfy the requirements of the temporary supervised practice rule. So with that, I am going to ask all of the 5 candidates to unmute yourselves and raise your right hand so we can see it up on the screen. And so we got Jessica. All right, everyone's raised their right hand. And if you could all please repeat after me. I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Organic Act of Guam,
the Organic Act of Guam,
the applicable statutes of the United States,
the applicable statutes of the United States,
and the laws of Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
and that I will maintain the respect due
and that I will maintain the respect due
to the courts of justice and the judicial officers,
to the courts of justice and the judicial officers,
that I will conduct myself honorably
that I will conduct myself honorably
as an attorney at law,
as an attorney at law,
and that I will abide by the Guam rules of professional conduct.
and that I will abide by the Guam rules of professional conduct.
Congratulations, counselors. You are now all admitted members of the association. And so this time we want to give them a clap. Let's give them a virtual clap.
Congratulations and welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
And so at this time, I would like to afford my colleagues the opportunity to just extend some remarks. And I will begin by recognizing the Honorable Catherine A. Merriman.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. And congratulations to the 5 of you as you either resume your legal career here in Guam or begin your legal career. I'd like to say a few words about the loss of one of the heroines of our profession this last weekend, because I think her career and her life as an attorney, as a judge in justice, is inspirational for all of us. And whether you agree with her views or not, certainly the way she was an advocate, lawyer, judge in justice is a wonderful example for all of us. She was strong and affirming in all of her views. She once said, we are at last beginning to relegate to the history books the idea of the token woman. And she certainly lived her life to show that women can make very meaningful contributions to our profession. And she was a leader in many ways of bringing women into more and increasing roles in our profession. She was also someone who showed how one could balance the other parts of life with your career. She had a wonderful family, and she remained active in various organizations throughout her life. And she's also said, fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. So you can think about that as you sort of pick out the areas of law that are important to you and where you will be more than just an advocate in that area. And when asked what she wanted her legacy to be, she said, to make life a little better for people less fortunate than you. That's what I think a meaningful life is. Our lives are not just for oneself, but for one's community. And as we step into this profession that serves the community, you are now an officer of the court, responsible to the people of Guam. Bear in mind that you should also aspire to one day say that you have left life a little better, or maybe not life, but our profession a little better for the people less fortunate than you and have benefited our community. I wish you much success and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Justice Merriman, for those very inspiring remarks. And now I'd like to recognize the Honorable Robert J. Torres.
Thank you, Chief Justice. Congratulations to all of you who've just been admitted to the bar. You should take pride in your accomplishment, your years of hard work and dedicated study in college and in law school, and the passage of the bar exam. Congratulations are in order as well to the other people, your friends and family, some watching on the Judiciary YouTube channel, others in the background there, listening wherever you're at, and still some who may only be with us in spirit, who have supported you and really put up with you along the way. The work of lawyers is vitally important to a fair and effective functioning of a democratic free society. And whether you're counseling, advocating for, or assisting clients to whom you owe special ethical duties, it doesn't matter what type of clients you represent. They can be individuals, they can be private businesses, they can be public or private institution or government entities. But whatever you do, and whenever you advocate for your clients, popular or unpopular, powerful or otherwise, you do your part to ensure that they receive equality under the law. Now, some of you may have noticed, and I don't do this very often, I'm wearing a collar on my robe, and it's to, as Justice Merriman has pointed out, to commemorate the life of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We affectionately remember her as the notorious RBG, a moniker she was proud to share with the late rapper Notorious B.I.G. because they were both straight out of Brooklyn. It's noteworthy that the day you're being sworn in is the day that she's lying in state in the Capitol, the first woman to be afforded that honor. The beauty of the law, as demonstrated by Justice Ginsburg, is its potential to democratize access to the courts and the power that it gives citizens to use the law not only as a shield against injustice and overreaching, but as a sword to require other citizens and the government itself to do what the law requires. Let us all celebrate her work by continuing her mission towards equality in all facets of our lives, and remind ourselves that even the smallest figure can command a mighty presence and change the world. Finally, I think this pandemic has made us all realize that in addition to the critical roles that you play as judges and lawyers, we have other important roles to play in our lives. You're a parent, a brother, a sister, a daughter, a spouse, a neighbor, or maybe even just simply a friend. But the relationships that you have and nurtured have helped shape you as a person. Don't become so overly engrossed in your work that you forget about these relationships that make you who you are as a person. On behalf of all the judges and the Judiciary of Guam, congratulations and welcome to the Guam Bar Association.
Thank you, Justice Torres. I'm very proud of the comments of my colleagues, and I join and concur in their remarks. I hope that you will take something away from their statements in terms of the tremendous amount of experience that they've had in the law and the many challenges that they have faced, and that you remember some of their words in when you look back 10, 20 years from now, in reference to this particular ceremony. For some of you, it's not your first time. For one candidate in particular, it is. And I hope that this ceremony, which we are conducting virtually, we wish we could be with you in the courtroom of the Guam Supreme Court so we can properly show you the respect that is due in reference to our candidates to the Guam Bar. You have earned the additional license that you're going to put on your wall and that will allow you to practice law in Guam. As Meenakshi has read, the credentials of all of you are quite impressive. The community stands to benefit from your diverse background, from the intellectual knowledge that you bring to our profession and the practice that you're going to be engaging in. And we look forward to you practicing in the courts of Guam. And so we're very proud of your accomplishments. For two other candidates, there's still a little thing about a bar exam come February or July of next year. But we're very optimistic that you will be in front of us come September, October, whenever that you do take the next bar exam. But we're very proud of all of your accomplishments to date, and we join in the celebration of your family and friends on this occasion. Now, normally we would take pictures so that we can have a memory of this day. So I don't know how this is done. Do we just take a picture of the screen? Is that how it works? Just Storage, you're the techie type.
I actually did take a picture of the screen while everyone was having their hand raised and the oath was being administered. And I already posted it to the Law Century WhatsApp link. And so Attorney Meenakshi can make sure that everyone gets a copy of at least that virtual swearing in with their hands raised if they didn't also take a picture.
There you go, complete service from the Supreme Court of Guam. So thank you, everyone. Have a safe weekend, and the courts are going to reopen come Monday, and we fully expect you to be committed and dedicated to the work that we all do. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
And CJ, before we adjourn, I'm just going to ask the newly admitted attorneys to please remain in the virtual courtroom as after we end the stream. And before we do, I do want to say there were people watching and they send their congratulations through their live chat on the Judiciary of Guam YouTube. So again, congratulations, everyone.
Okay. I was taking pictures, and so do I just stay on? Is that what I was?
I'll end the stream now, and now that the court will be in recess, and we'll ask all the attorneys, new attorneys, to remain in the virtual courtroom.
All right.